Alpha Romeo, United Alpha 3, Alpha Romeo, calling second. Hello, secure, calling secure, yes. Secure, United Alpha 3, Alpha Romeo, United Alpha 3, Alpha Romeo, secure 20, calling secure, yes. United Alpha 3, Alpha Romeo, calling secure English. Secure. Hello, secure. United Alpha 3, Alpha Romeo. United Alpha 3, Alpha Romeo. United Alpha 3, Alpha Romeo. Calling secure English. Secure. United Alpha 3, Alpha Romeo. United Alpha 3, Alpha Romeo.
Agosto e tante belle cose che potete fare finalizzi dalla chitarrina Zelanda 1, Zelanda, Japan, Sierra Marino, ciao.
Sì, Marino, grazie per la nuova banda perché abbiamo fatto il collegamento il 20 luglio in
Animazione, Flicker, Forte, Free, good luck.
Los 25 grados. No, ni bueno ni malo, un té. Delta Golf 8 Oscar Papa, Eco Alpha 5 Oscar November Móvil.
Ok Rocco, grazie per la chiamata Rocco, buona giornata e buone ferie quando sarà ora insomma. Ciao Rocco, alla prossima. Allora vediamo un po', Eco Alpha 3.
0 Romeo Mike, CQ 20 meters, over. Hello, CQ20 from Italy, Quebec 0 Radio Mike, I Quebec 0 Romeo Mike, Italy Quebec 0 Romeo Mike, CQ 20 meters, over.
Okay, hello everyone. Got a little bit of a taste of what I've been listening to for the past hour or so. I've been scanning the airwaves through something called a web SDR, and I'll show you my desktop in a minute. It's cluttered with all kinds of stuff that looks really technical and CSI enhancement, weird science stuff. But anyway, so I figured that I would try this weird experimental stream out. I don't think anyone in the history of Twitch has probably ever streamed something like this, and obviously it's not quite video games, but it's creative. So and I also want to note that I am not at all a licensed radio operator or anything. I'm just a nerdy dude interested in radio telemetry, which entails just various ways that people can communicate using analog or digital radio signals that transmit through the air. So everything that you hear right now throughout this entire stream, unless I'm showing a YouTube video, everything you're hearing is going through you right now, and it's people talking right now. These signals actually transfer faster than internet signals. So by the time the delay of the Twitch stream reaches you, what you're hearing has already gone through you and back before you even hear it on my stream. So we're going to be listening to very fast technology. And just because of part of the nature of analog signals, it has just so much noise and strangeness to it, things that a lot of us in the internet age are just not used to. I mean, our parents grew up with this kind of technology, and our grandparents grew up with this technology. And they had ham radio operators, amateur radio operators, all different words for the kinds of people that just sat and listened to all the signals going through us. And it's kind of been a little bit of a hobby of mine to learn about this. So I figured I'd do a stream, and this will be on YouTube. Do a stream just kind of showing anyone what this is about.
Romeo Mike, I Quebec 0 radio Mike, CQ 20
So here
meters,
is my desktop. And yes, there's a bit of a warning that there's very high chance of just random, really loud, screechy noises throughout this whole stream. So beware that there might just be sudden loud sounds. So and if I get really quiet for a while, it's probably because I'm listening to something, trying to figure out what we're listening to. Okay, that's the kind of noises I'm talking about.
Italy Zulu 0, Oscar Victor Whiskey, standing by.
I'm hacking the planet, yeah.
What is it?
So what you're listening to
CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meter.
I should get a notepad out.
CQ20, 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 Italy Zulu 0, Oscar Victor Whiskey, stand.
I'm gonna try to get this.
CQ20, CQ20, CQ20.
Say
CQ20, 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 Italy Zulu 0, Oscar Victor Whiskey, standing by on a possible call.
Okay, so what this is a real person talking at their radio. And what he's doing is he is a licensed radio operator. He sounds like he might be from India or something. And I'm listening through an antenna that is based in the Netherlands. Let's see if I think there's a map of it. Let me see. It's at the University of Twente Enschede in the Netherlands. So we're going to get a lot of European signals because right now I am in the United States, in Minnesota, and activity around the United States around 1 in the morning is very low. There are some people that communicate, but primarily we're going to be listening to people that are all over Europe and parts of Asia primarily. So we may not actually hear a lot of English, but that's just the time of night that I stream. So I'll try to explain what's going on here. First of all, in the bottom right corner on my screen, you're just seeing a whole bunch of garbage. That doesn't mean anything. I know it looks like hacky stuff going on right there, but it's because I have it set to a mode that is not the right mode to be interpreting the audio that's playing at the moment. So it's just kind of guessing, and it's giving a bunch of garbage. Anyway, what you're hearing was a guy when he was saying, so it's kind of standard procedure that when people talk to each other through shortwave radio online, or not online, through the airwaves, that they send out something saying CQ, CQ. That means that they're looking for someone to communicate to. And then they repeat their call sign. So everyone who's registered as a radio operator, you know, someone who has equipment, who is approved, and has an antenna that send out signals, everyone has a unique call sign. And they have what's called like the NATO alphabet, or there's a lot of different words for it. It's how you say letters through the radio in order to make sure that they don't get misinterpreted. So they usually say names of countries, or in the case of a lot of American radio operators, it tends to just kind of be common English words. But as you get into other languages, they start to say other things. You said you've used the website before, Pixel Inferno. That's really cool. These are all, I'm on the amateur wave bands right now. I'll go through all different kinds of different meters of wavelengths, and they'll show you guys, listen you guys, what sort of things are out there. Not all of these are number stations are a very, very tiny part of the grand scheme of radio. You have to really search hard to listen to one live. And if I can't find one live, I'll just play recordings and kind of like explain some of what's going on. So what I was picking up when he was saying before, it sounded like he was saying Italy, Zulu, 0, Oscar, Victor, Whiskey, which should be IZ or Z, 0, O, Victor, or VW, which is the right code for it to be a call sign, meaning the short phrase that, or symbol, or just series of numbers and letters that represents their identity over the air. And there's a website called QRZ.com, which is actually QRZ.com. QRZ is the radio code for identification. So usually when someone says, like, they ask what your QRZ is, it's like, what do you identify yourself as? So this is a record of all registered amateur radio operators in the world. So I can try to see if I can pick up who we are listening to. And it looks like this could be him. Okay, so here's the guy that we were just listening to earlier that was saying like Italy, and it just happens to be that this man is from Italy, which is kind of weird because usually when they say they pronounce it Italy. And they're usually very proud of the equipment. So this is the antenna that this guy has in his yard. And all he has is his call sign. Here's a picture of him and more of his antenna and stuff in Italian. Interesting. And it says the nationalities of people who have visited this particular page. So he primarily communicates with other Italians or people from the United States. And the thing that I think is so interesting about this whole amateur radio kind of thing is that people are just, who tend to be really into this and do all the transmitting, they're really good at their specific thing, but they tend to suck at the internet. So their photos tend to just be JPEG compressed into oblivion, and they're stretched, they're all over the place, and it makes for really good creepy pasta. And that's kind of the perspective that I come to with any kind of radio operation like this, is that it's so creepy. Mostly because I don't understand it and grow up with it, that it's a new weird thing to me. And I'm sure if anyone who grew up with this technology came and is watching this stream, they'd be like, what, that's not weird, what's so weird about that? You know, that's just how we do things. But I'd be like, you know what, I didn't grow up with this. So you see in the top right corner here, I wish I had a way of like magnifying and zooming in to better show you guys stuff. So this here, I can never remember what these are called. They're usually like call sign cards or something like that. And these are little things that amateur radio operators make themselves. And just like I was saying, that they tend to suck at, you know, everyday things that people in our generation, primarily, you know, like people 20s to 30s-ish, that we didn't grow up with, so they tend to suck with like internet and all that. So these things are pretty crudely put together, and every time I see them, I just think like, oh, there's got to be some secrets behind it. There's got to be some mystery surrounding it or something. But yeah, it looks like a photo of his antenna, and then we got the amateur radio logo on the side, and here's his call sign. So he pronounced it Italy Zulu 0 Oscar Victor Whiskey, and I guess his name is Romolo, or something like that. Italian amateur radio station. Then we got what looks like probably the Italian crest for some kind of communications commission or something like that. But I think if this were an American pronouncing the call sign, it would be India Zulu 0 Oscar Victor Whiskey. Like the entire alphabet. This is going to be a very tangent-oriented stream, by the way. I'm going to like jump from so many different subjects.
L'abbiamo fatto neanche un mese fa, 15 giorni fa, 15 giorni fa, carissimo Giancarlo, abbiamo fatto QSO in 40 metri.
So to answer some of the questions that are coming up in chat, this is not monitored. This is a thing that makes analog radio so special, is that it has nothing to do with the internet. In this particular case, this is a very special case because I'm using something called a web SDR, which is a software-defined radio. It's a way that people through the internet can actually listen to the feed of an antenna, an actual physical antenna. So it is going through the internet, but technically, if I didn't live in a city that had huge amounts of interference and noise everywhere, I could whip out my own shortwave radio and just listen and catch a lot of these same signals. But I live in a very dense city where I do not have the good signal to receive this kind of stuff. So anyway, no, this is not monitored, and that's a huge thing, is that if I just sat here with the radio, no one could ever know that I'm listening to any signal. It is not a trackable thing. Anyone could be listening to radio anytime and no one would know. And that's why throughout World War II and throughout many wars, and even in modern day, analog radio signals are used all the time because they can't be monitored. The closest thing that you would ever get to being monitored is that if you transmit, if you're sending a signal out, sometimes the origin of that signal can be triangulated. It can be sort of discovered through various ways, but it's not like the internet where you can be like, oh, here's your IP address, here's your internet provider, this is where you live. You can't trace it that way. And that's why the FCC was founded, the Federal Communications Commission, which is a notoriously vicious organization that just can shut you down, can just completely destroy whatever you're trying to do with their radio waves. And it's not just radio these days. They are involved with television, all kinds of other ways of communication, but they made their big break kind of back in the radio days. But anyway, the FCC makes sure that everyone's using the right radio bands, and if you broadcast or interfering with like police signals or any kind of emergency services, you can get fined like big time. You can go to jail if you transmit a signal on a band that you're not supposed to. And this is why you have to get licensed to transmit signals. But anyone in the world can listen. It's just transmitting is the dangerous thing. And you'll find that a lot, like I'll show you guys some of these signals. Like in China, they send out jammer signals because they want to actively interfere with signals coming from the United States and Europe, and they don't want a lot of people in their country listening to certain signals, which is kind of an outdated practice because the internet is around and people can just listen for stuff like that. So I'll just show you guys. I've been trying to get a little collection of these things, of these kind of signatures, and there's a mode called SSTV, which us nerdy folk will probably know by Portal, the game Portal, and because SSTV is a form of signal that can produce an image. So I did not get these images through the internet. My computer created these images through sound. And that's why they're a little bit warped, that no two receivings of these signals would look alike. Because if any little bit of interference that happens will cause like lines of static. Like if it was in the middle of receiving this and I just went whoa into my microphone, it would make a big bunch of noise, and that's why it's warped a little bit. So all of these are unique, and these just look so weird. You know, coming from a video game background, especially someone interested in Easter eggs and weird things, it's just like, this is creepy as fuck. Like, you know, what? I mean, I know what these are for, but it just makes your imagination kind of run. Like, you know, what if? Like CQ means like calling out, I'm looking for someone. DE means it's the signal's receiving, I mean, the signal's being sent by HB9CIC, or they would say Hotel Bravo 9 Charlie India Charlie. And in the case of this one, and it's like a weird language thing. I look at our next QSO. QSO means a conversation via radio. Sounds like, oh, that was a nice QSO. It's just like an abbreviation for a conversation through the radio. I guess his name is Kurt. There's some other abbreviations I don't really understand. I think his call sign must be like Victor Yankee 73 or something like that. Then this one, Oscar Echo 1 Kilo Yankee Alpha. And if that QRZ website, you can look up any of these and get information about these people because they're all registered. And the portal Easter egg, maybe I should show you guys. Okay, so portal SSTV. So there was a big thing that happened in Portal, before Portal 2 came out. They had an ARG, like an alternate reality game, which is when they were promoting the game, they used all kinds of just weird analog, just extremely cryptic things that they were putting into Portal 1. Yeah, let me cut the feed here. And also, by the way, when you look at my my waterfalls here on the left, this is all audio going through my computer right now is being analyzed by this. It's showing the different frequencies, like 0 to, you know, no air movement whatsoever, all the way to about 1,000. And the human ear, I believe, can hear up to like, is it like 6? I'm going to get some of these facts horribly wrong, so you know, don't be don't hesitate to correct me if I'm wrong with any sort of factual bit of information. So like if I turn my mic completely off, everything will just go dead. Okay, what's producing that noise? Something is still making sound on my computer. Oh, I wonder. Oh, right. Okay, now this should make it go dead. That's what we call dead air. No movement whatsoever. So what you're looking at is what my voice looks like. And vocal cords have multiple pitches simultaneously. So if I go do, see, so it is actually measuring that. And I have an automaton here. So you all know what this is from Vinny's stream, but this is at least a thing that can produce a pretty pure wave. So I can be like, So then I can go and produce, brace your ears, boys and girls. Or you can go the other direction. Oh, what was really creepy was once my automatone's batteries started dying, and it just made like this horrible death noise. And, you know, I had to like bring it to a, to get its demons removed, whatever that's called. Oh God, what was that movie called? The woman in the bed that spews a vomit everywhere, and then they had to like remove the ghost, or I don't know. I need to bring it to one of those. So anyway, what I was saying with the portal thing is that this is kind of what started to get me interested in this stuff, was the alt exorcism. Yes, the portal ARG was, they put these kinds of signals in portal, just audio. Let me see. There's an entire wiki dedicated to this, and I'll try not to spend too much time on it, because we need to browse the airwaves for other things. Let's see if this. Meanwhile, ESPN and beef jerky.
Everyone, it's the social solipsist again, and I just wanted to do a quick update on the Valve ARG Portal 2 thing that's going on, that I've been covering here.
So this video was put on 2011, so I believe this was probably around the same time as the release. So let's see.
There. I showed you this site before. This is the site that came up after that surprise April Fool's thing for launch. Yeah, it's complete free. Same time. A decrypted. Oh, right. Membership. Ha. 2. Life 2 episode 2. But apparently, Science Cave Johnson contract.
Okay, this isn't quite what I was looking for. Let's see if this better. Oh, Jesus, okay. So hear that? There was Morse code signals. That was the first one anyone heard, is that suddenly Portal 1 updated. This is before Portal 2 came out. Portal 1 updated, and people are like, what? And the only thing in the update notes said something like, transmission received or something. People are like, what the fuck? So when you play Portal 1, and then suddenly some of the radios in the game were playing different signals, and they're playing things like Morse code. You know, Morse code is a language of dots and dashes, which I actually do know Morse code. So here's someone using software similar to what I have right now, and it's interpreting the Morse code. And I remember watching this live when people were trying to figure out the ARG of Portal 2, and it was like one of the scariest things ever. Not scary in its own, like, oh my god, it's aliens or anything. It was just more like, what the fuck? This video game that I know and love is suddenly speaking to its players in cryptic messages, and Valve had no direct acknowledgement that any of this was happening until like long after the fact. And I just spent all night on like the subreddit and on YouTube, and it was just, I didn't contribute anything, but I was just listening to it all unravel, and it was just sending chills down my spine as people are figuring this out. So it started with an innocent Morse code message. You can see my waterfall here on the side is also picking up the signal. Like I could actually... See, look, I can interpret it too. Oh, brace your ears. Okay, so this is what's called an SSTV signal. This is the one that produces images through sound. And the primary use of SSTV these days seems to be in video games because it's kind of a technology nobody really uses anymore. Except when we landed on the moon, the photos of the moon were transmitted back to Earth through this signal. And I believe the signal was developed for that reason, was to send images through space. And if you are an actual radio operator, you can make a connection with the International Space Station as it passes over you. And that's sort of like an achievement that radio operators like to do, is to make a connection in a what do you call it? There's an abbreviation. We're going to make an actual contact at the International Space Station. So anyway, I'm going to try to, in real time, I will, where can I go where you guys can see this? I'm going to try to do my own receiving of this SSTV signal. So it's probably going to screw up, but let's see. And I can talk over it to ruin it. See, it's actual audio. Blah, blah, blah. So because I started it a little bit late, oh no. Okay, I think it automatically saves it. Yeah, it saved it. All right, so the thing about SSTV is it has a lot of different forms, and you have to like kind of anticipate what it's going to be. And I'm not knowledgeable enough to be able to anticipate exactly what mode. Like, these are all the modes it has: M1, M2, S1, S2, SDX, R36, R72, MP115, MP73, MP... There's so many. It tends to be that it's either like M1 or S1 or something like that, but all the other ones are used because every little noise that you hear is a RGB value for a pixel, essentially. And so when Valve created this ARG, these SSTV signals were all over in the game, and they purposely made really garbled looking images. So even if you had the purest signal possible, it still would have looked noisy. When I was talking over it, it actually added noise because my voice, as you can see, like on the left, while everything's dancing around while I talk, it actually does stuff. So then people started finding like, okay, we got keyboard keys, we got kind of like handwriting or something going on up here. Oh no, he cut the video short, so the signal actually stopped there, but whatever. So now I'm going to get a weird mixture of two. Oh, we're back to Morse code. See, so I was able to get exactly that, looks like. And based on my own knowledge, I think, what exactly was received for this part? Looks like it's probably a, no, it's not a hexadecimal, because no? Maybe it is hex. Because I don't see anything above an F. I don't know if this video will say what it was, but there's a whole wiki about this if you want to know more. And then we got more SSTV. I'll skip ahead a little bit and save time. More and more. Image of a skull. And then we got more Morse code. So these are all the pieces of the puzzle that people are putting together. So people were scouring all over the internet for websites that Valve was opening up. Like there was ApertureScience.com that would bring up like a DOS prompt, and you had to log in as different users to get more leads onto what was happening. Then there's even a troll message of Morse code that was just beep, beep, beep in Morse code. It's like a B is dan da da da, and then E is dit. So it's like dan da 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 dit 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 da 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 dan da 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 dit 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 da 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 da. Yep. More SSTV. More and more and more.
Should never have let her go.
Then of course.
No stopping her, Eli. Wait a moment. There's something else here. It's the Borealis.
Good God.
Incredible!
What? The Borealis? It's real?
Oh yes, quite real, despite its almost legendary stature. Our peers at Aperture Science were at work on a project of some promise, but in their rush to beat Black Mesa for funding, they must have compromised ordinary standards of risk. We heard their research vessel had simply disappeared, vanished, with all hands, and even part of the dry dock. Few believed the Borealis would ever be seen again.
It should have been lost forever.
Ah, but now that we've found it, we can use it against the Combine. Did you...
Use it. That thing has to be destroyed.
But think of the advantage for humanity.
Well,
Tolling.
this doesn't really have much to do with the ARG. I think this video is just showing that, hey, and then in Portal 2, there's a reference to the Borealis. I don't think this was in the games. Looks like a fan-made thing. Because the only thing that was in Portal 2... Oh, this is just the, I think this is the model that was used for the little scene that you saw there with Eli and Kleiner. Yeah, this wasn't in Portal 2. This is some fan-made thing. I think they're just showing off the... Yeah, that is what this is. Because they didn't actually show the Borealis in person. Okay. Well, anyway, that's kind of what got me into a lot of this analog radio stuff, is how developers have used the old technology to appeal to gamers, and because it's a technology we're not aware of, and they're like, hey, it's been around forever, you know? And okay, so I think I'll get to actual live conversations happening here. So what you're seeing on the right is, like I said, it's an antenna in the Netherlands, so we're picking up a lot of European signals. And apologies for loud noises, could happen at any time. And I can already tell that there's a lot of voices happening here because, like, you know, see when I talk on the left, how it has this column of just highs and lows going all over the place, and I'm seeing similar things happen here. Most of the human voice tends to be concentrated in the lower spectrum. So if I tune the radio over to, let's say, like,
Ciao Italy, thank you. Okay, 6020 from IQ0 Radio Mike, Italy, Quebec 0, Romeo Mike, Hello 20, over. Metrolio, okay. 10 plus. Сегодня маленько так, чуть-чуть даже дождичек, маленько, чуть-чуть так сбрызнул. Спасибо за проведенные кейсы. Вопросов не будет. Всего доброго, 73. Елена, Василий 6, Роман Ульяна. Елена, Василий 6, Роман Ульяна. Allora, ecco anche il telefono subito. Ti passo velocemente in connessione del tempo che ha piovuto stamattina. Ha piovuto parecchio. It's 3 band. And at the moment the 500 whiskey. Very nice copy, very nice audio, Peter, no problem. My name Marcel, the location of Rome, Italy, Rome Center. This is call in order to celebrate the extraordinary Jubileum Mercy and the 3 point for you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Many pleasure for copy your sound. It's very nice. 73 and good luck, Peter. I listen in your final. Sierra, Mike 4, Papa Echo Lima, Italy, Quebec 0, Romeo Mike. QXR, Roger.
So what's interesting to know is that because we're listening over other people's conversations and they're located in other places, so you might...
Arrivederci, grazie. Ok, thank you. La stazione K1, Italia chilometro 1, avanti, buongiorno.
So we might only hear one side of the conversation because to them, they tune in the people that they can hear, but I'm just here in the middle trying to interpret their one signal and another signal, and I'm just stepping in between and listening to them. They have no idea that we're listening, but everyone knows when you transmit a signal that there's the potential for it to be taken and listened. So, you know, they wouldn't be like, oh, my password to whatever is this. So yeah, we can barely even hear the other guy they're talking to. So this entire region of the spectrum is called 20 meters, and it's a designation that says that an amateur, you know, someone not in the military, not a part of any sort of police force or anything like that, you're allowed to use this full spectrum from 14 kilohertz. Wait, 100. This is, I always get the units mixed up, but yeah, from 14 kilohertz all the way to, or 1400 all the way to 14350. And you see all these vertical lines that show the amount of intensity of the signal. So the brighter is the better signal, and different regions of an amateur band like this are designated for types of signals. So we get lots of voices in the mid to upper, and then we get all the Morse code called constant wave, and also various digital modes towards the bottom. So like if I go this is where, you know, stuff gets even creepier. So if you think the voices sound creepy, just because of the nature of an analog signal, there's going to be a lot of noise, and like the curve of the Earth affects the sound, and solar activity affects the sound. Like when I go to QRZ, where is it? This whole box, I don't know if you can see with the red circle, this doesn't mean really much of anything to me, but amateur radio operators just love this kind of thing because solar activity, like when there's a big solar flare, it actually will interfere with radio communication. So that's why it's so scary to people when we have big solar flares, is that it can just like diminish any kind of signal happening across the world. And we rely on the ionosphere of our atmosphere, which is like the part of our atmosphere that the sun, it's like when it, I'm not a scientist, it's when the sun and our atmosphere hit together, there's some kind of reaction that happens that's very electrical in the ionosphere. So that allows radio signals sent from, let's say, from the United States to reach China on the other side of the Earth, because it bounces back to Earth. Normally, without the ionosphere, you would emit the signal and it would go out into space and it would never come back. But because the sun created this layer of our atmosphere, that's the only reason radio works. And if that didn't work, we wouldn't have the internet, we wouldn't have any of the communication that we did today. So it's like we owe the sun for everything. So that's why the sun is very closely monitored by radio operators. So this talks about solar activity, and it's reporting what bands, like what ranges of frequencies sound good at what time of day. So depending on what direction, what face of the Earth is facing the sun, it can affect the quality of the signal, or they call it the, what is the word? I always forget this word. The propagation, I think it's called, of the signal. Monotonous, when you say use, does that mean just talking, or can you listen to non-amateur bands? I can actually listen to just about any signal out there, but there are encrypted bands, so you can hear it, but it'll just be a bunch of noise that can't be interpreted. So of course the military uses a lot of those, and that's where a lot of like mysteries come about, is when there's encrypted signals that people try to interpret, because it's like, well, clearly if someone's trying to mask something, it must be pretty important information. Do you want to set up a doc or something to have people read for future streams like this? Well, I'm gonna be this is gonna be on YouTube, so it's not like the last time you'll ever hear any of this. Isn't there a big weak spot in the Earth's ionosphere? If a solar flare thing were to hit, it would eradicate all crap I forgot, but how do you mean? You would not be see, that's the thing, you can't get in trouble for listening to anything. That's because all the signals are around us all the time. And if they were trying to enforce people listening to stuff, there's just no way they could do that. Because listening is just receiving signals that already exist. But for transmitting signals, you can get arrested. And you can get massive fines. So that's why you have to be licensed. So if you go down to the digital bands, this is where stuff is going to get really beepy, to use the technical term. So these are real people having conversation in Morse code. It is not a dead language. These are people actually doing it right now. And it's going too fast for me to know it offhand, but here, I'll tune into it. Oh, he's way up here. Oh, we got a call sign. Echo Alpha 3 Zulu Delta. Morse code conversations tend to be very abbreviation heavy. So you won't just straight up see, hello, how are you? You'll just see lots of acronyms. Not even acronyms, you'll just see letters that represent ideas or phrases. So, Echo Alpha 3 Zulu Delta is calling out, looking for someone to talk to. Please respond. And that person is this. They can put whatever they want on this page. It doesn't say where they're located. If anyone recognizes that flag, is this Cuba? They have all of their, like, awards. Here's him, apparently, installing his antenna. Dang, this guy has done a lot. Here's his setup. So right now, this guy... I mean, we're hearing like 8 different conversations right now. But the one, the Echo Alpha 3 Zulu Delta, this is what his rig looks like. It tends to just be a big stack of shelves with more equipment than you can possibly fathom, like what it all does. So the thing with Morse code is that it, the rhythm is so important. That's why you can't just be like, you know, dot, dash, 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 dot, dot, dash, 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 dot, dot, dash, dash, dash. It's just like if you just type a bunch of random crap on your keyboard and then say, get words out of that. Like the spaces between everything is extremely important. So like my own... Like this is probably a computer producing this. No one could possibly have a hand this fast. Trying to find the signal. Here it is. This is very slow. Yeah, it's not interpreting it right. It's hard for this software to pick up on the mistakes that someone would do by hand. Meanwhile, there's this guy. Romeo Zulu, 1-6 Foxtrot, Foxtrot. It's a Russian! I want to learn more about this guy. RZ16FF. We're gonna hear a lot of Russians. It's amateur radio operation is very popular in Russia because the country is just physically huge, and this is like one of the most reliable ways they could communicate across that big of a country. Okay, this person doesn't have their name or anything, it just has Russian stuff. I know a tiny bit of Russian. It says Russia, or yeah, Russia, Russia. Telegraphy Marafin. So something about radio communication. Oh, it's an award for a marathon. Marathons are when radio operators all get together and they have a set period of time where they have to make as many global connections as they can at once. This is Abrazits. Obrazits? I don't know what it means. Now listen to this. Oh yeah. That's the stuff. Everyone wants me to look for the buzzer. I don't think it's transmitting anymore. I'm reading back in the chat. So this then picks up signals around the world to be translated in Morse or whatever. All these signals are using the same airwaves. It's just the type of signal that's broadcast. I might be able to interpret some of this. Okay, interpret's a bad word for it. Have my software do it. Okay, so these signals, if you look at what this looks like on my end, see, it looks like DNA synthesis or something. Okay, let me narrow down to 1 so it doesn't sound quite so horrific. Wait, maybe this. Here we go, this is a good one. This is a radio teletype signal. Oh no, come back. Dang it. I don't think I have it tuned right. So yeah, sometimes signals are encrypted, so you can't actually... I could have the settings wrong, but... Here we go. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Thunder Excel, JLS Raw, Sitting Wind, Cloud Strife Amiibo. Yeah, a lot of games incorporate this kind of stuff. This sounds like PSK. Again, loud noises, sorry. Come back. Software is not the best designed. I don't think I have it in the right mode. Okay, something that will help is I have a website that has an archive here of all different types of signals. Like this looks just like what we were listening to, but it also has samples of what they sound like. So be prepared for some loud noises. And also, I know this isn't number stations that I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to show you all that, there's so much more going on in the radio world than just what, video games talk about. Like, the numbers, Mason, what do they mean? That game had a lot of like radio related numbers and stuff like that with it. So this is kind of shows you that it's alive and well, still lots of people using it. So like here's PSK, it's phase shift keying, and it uses just the really high pitched tones, and it's actually one of the most efficient forms of a digital mode, and this website talks a lot about it. So here's our sample. Oh Jesus. And now that I know what mode it is, like a PSK 31, I should be able to actually interpret what that was. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. No, it's tuned to a different frequency. So when it highlights it like that, that means that it was a confirmed call sign. And then it just talks about a PSK 63. I don't have it set up right for that, but there's information about it. Here's SSTV, like I was doing before. This is the image from from sound. Holy fuck. Okay, I'll save your ears. Not do the rest of that. Radio teletype. This one is actually more in use in everyday things. Like the police use this pretty often. Like there were teletype machines that were kind of like fax machines, except it's for sending text back and forth. So it was just a typewriter that would connect to a phone signal, and then it would turn the letters into sound, and then it would send the sound through a phone line, and then a machine on the other end would hear the noise, and then it would print it out in text for you. And this is in use it's still in use now, but it's like more common than anything else. This kind of pre-fax machine. But it's very recognizable sound. Like here's what it sounds like. Oh, that was a short sample. Let's see if I can get a better one. It's too short to get much from it. MFSK. Yeah, you can post a link in the chat. I mean, as long as it's like somewhat related. This is funny. This is a German signal called the Hellschreiber. Hellschreiber, or Hell as it's commonly known, is a bit of a different from the other data modes. When receiving a Hell signal, your eyes do the filtering. The decoded text is displayed on a ticker tape display, also shown in the picture. Hell is a very distinctive grating sound and has a narrow band mode. The Hell signals on the left of the picture with the green flag above it with MFSK on the right. Note the bandwidth required for the technical stuff. So this is another visual signal. So instead of ticker tape, like actually typing out the letters, you're you're going to see an image now. So right now it's just noise. I never have this set up right. I mean, some of this just gets like technical beyond what I even understand. But I won't go through every single one. Some of them use the actual, how it looks on the waterfall here as the means of communicating. Like there's a famous Depeche Mode song. Is it Depeche Mode? Oh no, it's Aphex Twin. Okay.
We're here in
no, I clicked an ad. Oh god.
Hennepin County talking to Steve.
Wait, what is this? Oh right, is that from Doom? Yeah, that's actually kind of what I was going to show here. So Aphex Twin is known for a lot of experimentation and weird things with digital signals and stuff like this. But take a look at what happens when you have a spectroanalysis of the audio towards the end of the song. So this is audio. All right, so good luck sleeping after that. So essentially they just were painting images with sound. And also Doom, new Doom, hidden images. Wait, Doom images, audio. No sleeping tonight. God dang, okay, what was it? Doom, music, hidden image. Here we go. So the new Doom, the one that came out this year, the composer hid a bunch of images in the music. Wait, I gotta read what you guys' reaction. This looked like part of Cthulhu. Oh, hell no. Oh, thanks. What? Bro, hell no. That's what I'm here for. You expect me to sleep after this stream? Loves to put spooky fucking faces everywhere. Yeah, this is, so the Doom soundtrack has stuff hidden in it. What the hell is this? The fuck? What is this? Did not ask for Weeb. I thought we were listening to Doom. Okay. Don't mute my VOD, please. I don't know if you can see it. but with every da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, it painted a 6 in sound, and that noise we heard was the actual pitches bending all over the place to produce a 6 in it. Let's see if I actually, so thanks for the follow, Gray Storm Cloud. I have a spectral analyzer. Maybe not quite the one that they use in this video, but let's see. Let me get real software crazy. Okay, we got Audacity. I'll record stereo mix. Let me just steal a sample of this music. Okay. Dang it. I need to put the mic way up. I'm just curious to try doing this for myself. Of course, I'm going to save it as a wave. Doom. How about Doom Song? Doom, doom, doom. No. That one's open. It's been a long time since I've used this software. Let's see if I can remember. I have to do layer, add spectrogram. Here we go. Kind of see it. I might have to bump the contrast up. I can make it a little more clear. There we go. Now I can really see it. So very creative. Oh, it stopped working. Okay. On their part. Mystery signal. What is this?
Video.
Oh, is this the Elite Dangerous? Looks like it. Let's see if, without reading into it at all, let's see if I can interpret what this is. That's very strange. Didn't really look like a signal that I'm aware of. So I don't know much about Elite Dangerous, but it looks like it was some kind of random probe floating out in the middle of space, and it like screws with your system somehow when you go towards it. Nope, no, no, no. Interesting. I mean, as long as we're talking about these things, there's a game out there that is almost entirely about this sort of thing. Oh God, what is it called? Hey, Videobum. I've not talked to aliens. I'm only here receiving signals, so I can't actually talk. I'd be able to listen to aliens. God, what is the name of the game? Pardon me while I just log on to Reddit real quick. Oh, who would have thought? Okay. Wait, how do I... Oxenfree, that is the name of the game. Oxenfree is an incredible game that... Okay, so I watched a complete playthrough of it, and it's a game where it's about like a bunch of teenagers that are on an island that has a mysterious radio past, and it deals with listening to Morse code, interpreting or receiving various radio signals and things like that, and it has an ARG going alongside with it. So when you actually go to the subreddit, Oxenfree. What? Oxenfree ARG documentary. Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll have to watch this off stream. I didn't know they made a video about it. Basically, the game, just like a lot of ARGs do, is bringing people out into the real world in real locations. Because the game has different like Morse code signals that were broadcast, and people got phone numbers out of it, and then they would call up different wait. People were calling a real phone number, and the developers were recording phone conversations or phone voicemail messages that were left, and they were posting them online, and they were waiting for someone to say the right thing. God, there's just so much on this subject that I could just go on and on about. Voicemail greeting. Okay, so the thing that started this whole deal is this song.
Hello, please state your name after the tone.
Okay, so there's a bunch of signals that are emitted in the game, and people got a phone number out of it. And when they called the phone number, this is what they received.
And Google Voice will try to connect you.
So imagine calling a number and hearing this. Okay, so that was right at the beginning of the ARG, and people were like, what the fuck? I mean, that's pretty much a reaction to everything in an ARGs. What the fuck? When you discover something new. So the number was 916-936-3733, and it was also linked to a Twitter account called X-Ray, which is like the NATO alphabet for X. 916-936-3733, and that Twitter account was tweeting out audio clips of the people who are actually leaving voicemail messages. So anyway, that what you were hearing was this song. Now this is one of the most clever things ever, at least from my standpoint. This is what the song that was playing over the phone. Awesome song, by the way. I love this game soundtrack. So let's see if you guys catch on to what's hidden in this song. For it. Wait for it. Can't quite get it because it keeps changing pitch. Okay, so it's really hard to pick up on a traditional receiving thing like this, but so this is the very first song that plays in the game. Right when you start, you hear this. So you're just kind of like, oh, it's a pretty cool soundtrack. And if you're not someone who's actively listening for this type of thing, you would never have guessed that there was anything there. But yeah, when it's da-da, so let's see, because I know Morse code, so it was da-da, 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 and just to prove to you, so it was da 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 da. So saying Maggie, 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 Maggie over and over again, which is one of the characters in the game. And so the next step is, okay, don't autoplay, please. This is where this gets a little crazier. They just kind of coyly uploaded an alternate version of the song. And they're just like, hey, just so you guys know, we got the soundtrack on SoundCloud. I don't know if you want to like listen to it again or anything. It's like, okay, what's different? I'm skipping ahead, let's see. Notice it's not Maggie, Maggie, Maggie anymore. It's something different. And to make it even better, they had different sounds going through each channel of your ears. So let me open up Audacity real quick. And let me record in... Oh, God, it's been a while since I've used Audacity. What do I do? New... No. I need to record in stereo. Add new stereo track. Is it gonna work? Oh! Oh, here. Stereo record. So let me record a piece of this. Hey, hey. So that, oops. Hey, so you can get a little bit of my voice. Okay. Actually, it would probably take way too long for me to just manually interpret this, but trust me, it is something different. And so when called, you'll be redirected to a machine. Yeah, so they heard the Beacon Beach soundtrack, which they had the word Maggie repeating in. And then the so people who were calling that number originally, keep in mind ARGs tend to not just be linear. There's usually a lot of threads going on simultaneously. So while people are interpreting the song and the changes in the song, people who had called that number were getting text messages sent to them by that number. And it said that they received a Morse code message that said, "Good work, DLBB, listen close." And then it said listen close, so it led players to listening to the Beacon Beach soundtrack again, which this is the message that we were just listening to. So no longer does it say Maggie, Maggie, Maggie. Oh, it's the Bandcamp version, not the SoundCloud version. I mean, that version was different, but this is the one that actually gives yeah. Okay. No, this should sound weird to your ears. Get a load of that. So now there's two different messages, one going into each ear. And what they interpreted from that was search Twitter for some number, search Twitter for some number, searching. So people searched the number that was coming up, and they came up with the X-ray account, which is no longer up. And it said on Twitter, the X-ray account reports calls made to that phone number. Each of the tweets contain a date of the call, time of the call, the city and state in which the call was made, and a transcript of any message. So they have logged calls Let's see, a page, a full table of tweets, blah. I think the account is down now, by the way, so you can't really find it again. Oh, they had recordings of the fans of the game calling in. Is it still on here? Oh. But what always happens in ARGs is that there'll be mistakes that are made throughout the ARG, or people will get directed into the wrong place, and then the developers have to be like, whoa, wait, we don't want you to go this way with it. We intended it for this. But they don't want to just come up and be like, oh, wait, guys, you're on the wrong track. So they actually send out more Morse code signals and things to people to say, like they sent out, deletes not needed, please stand by, SOS. Kanaloa SOS, Kanaloa SOS. So it was saying that when we delete a tweet, it does not, you should ignore everything we delete. It doesn't mean that, it has no meaning when we delete something. So they had to clarify that. Man, okay. Voicemail greeting. So the voicemail message of this phone number kept changing, and then the fans would have to keep re-listening to that same voicemail and have to figure out what meaning came out of that. This wiki is not organized very well. I'm sorry it's like so slow. I'm trying to like read and remember at the same time. But this ARG was going on for such a long time. And I believe the ARG has not actually ended yet. It's at the point where they need people to physically go to a location in Washington, and they haven't managed to do it correctly yet. Here, I'll post a link in the chat if you want to read this ARG for yourself. There's a whole subreddit dedicated to ARGs also. So when they come up, you'll see the subreddit boom and start looking at stuff. Oh, hey, Savage Fam. Haven't seen you in years. Also binary, anagrams. We get all the bread and butter of ARGs. Cryptograms. Ciphers. Oh, this was a cool thing that happened. Okay, so I love it when developers, not only when they do ARGs, but they take the risk of putting the next step of the ARG in the hands of everyday people. And in this case, they found Jesse Cox, who is a pretty well-known YouTuber, and they gave him a link to a video. Okay, I'll let him explain it for himself. So they noticed that this YouTuber really enjoyed the game, and they sent him a special version of the trailer, and I'll let him explain it.
Hello there, everybody, it's Jesse, and this is an update on the Oxenfree ARG. I know, I promised I'd make an update video. A lot of you were clamoring for one. It's finally here because, oh my god, I've got something to share. Guys, I'm in it deep. I have been part of this community for pretty much since I beat the game. And I will say right now, if you haven't played the game and beaten it, or you haven't at least watched a Let's Play, preferably mine, of this game, go do so right now. This will blow your mind if you played it or not, but you definitely want to be involved. Anyway, I'll give you a minute. I assume people still here are okay? All right, so, as you know, if you haven't really followed the ARG, my suggestion to you is go watch the last, I don't know, 10 minutes of my very last episode of this Let's Play of Oxenfree. Go watch that. I go through all the stuff I found out. I spent like 3 hours when I beat the game looking up all this stuff online. It's crazy. There's phone numbers you can call and Twitter accounts and Morse code and all this stuff revolving around the game that's a real-life ARG that has to do with what many people think is the real, air quotes, real ending. It has to do with Seattle, the islands around Seattle, Washington. Who knows? Who knows? It's all leading to something. Nobody knows. And then this week, they released a trailer for their PlayStation 4 launch and an update to the game. And the update to the game apparently is going to feature Alex, the main character, realizing the twist at the end of the game that something's not right. Maybe they're still trapped on the island, which no matter what ending you get, I think I got like the best ending possible. No matter what ending you get, you still have that twist. So yeah, the general thesis then is that the new PlayStation launch with the new update is somehow going to reveal a true ending, but then again, no one has any idea what this has to do with the ARG. No one knows anything yet. So because I'm a massive fan, I'm sure you can tell, I had already seen the announcement video earlier in the week and was really excited for the update, all that stuff. So all of this brings us to today. I was going through my emails because, you know, every once in a while I like to do that, and I noticed I had one from the Oxenfree team, Night School, and I thought it was just like a normal press release, clicked to open it. Inside was literally just a link to a Google Drive document. Nothing else. I was like, okay. Honestly, I thought it was a virus or like spam or it was like, I don't even know what I thought. But the one thing I did recognize immediately was the name. All that was in it was a Google Drive named X-Ray 916-936-3733. That's it. For those of you who are in on this ARG, you know exactly what that means. That's the phone number / Twitter account that a lot of this Morse code stuff is coming from, where they had the weird music and the things that would like text you back, all that stuff. Now, I know the devs know that I am huge into this ARG because after I beat the game, I tweeted out like how crazy it was and how much I was in love with it, and they tweeted back like, that's so cool. So they know I'm in. So I was like, all right, well, this has got to be a thing. So I clicked to open it, thinking, you know what, maybe it's like a clue, and this is probably something they sent everyone, but I looked online, and I cannot find this anywhere, guys. I can't find this anywhere. This is a one-of-a-kind alternate trailer. I thought for sure someone would post this. False. I think they just sent it to me, which is insane. So I am going to play this for you, and just watch it, and then we'll talk at the end.
Oops. Brace for spoops.
We have until dawn, and so are you.
Are you doing this?
Are you fake?
Anyway, what's so special about the caves?
The whole reason Alex brought her radio is because you can sometimes pick up frequencies to stations that don't exist.
Wait for it.
Something's wrong. We've already done this. Like, we can, like, talk through the radio waves to another timeline.
Alex, just whatever happens, just
wait for it. Oh, did you see it?
So did you catch the red letters at the end? You must have, because they flashed all over the screen. That is not in the YouTube trailer they released. At all. Not at all. It has to be a message. I've paused it numerous times. It's random letters and a www.com. So we know it's a website of some sort. I just don't know what. I'm going to immediately submit this to the Reddit forum about Oxenfree. I'm going to harass the Google Doc people, all this stuff. We are definitely getting closer. I don't know what this means. I imagine it's a website that's going to lead us there somehow. I just don't know. I don't know. But I am totally in. And yeah, you're damn right. We're going to do another playthrough when the patch comes out because I've got teens to save. Wow. I'm super excited. And hopefully all of you in the ARG are as well. Thank you for watching. And as always, to be continued. UFO Command.
Okay, so they sent him, and only him, this version of the trailer. And actually, the trailer did originally contain all of the spooky stuff.
So I was like, all right, well, this...
all of this business, because that happens in the game. That wasn't that unusual. But what's weird is the highlighting of letters at the end. So it, what people did, they took all the letters that were highlighted, and what they got out of it was ED. Okay, wait. EDW ARD ISLAND edwardisland.com, and this is what's there. So it's to blank this. My name is blank. I go to blank school. My brother blanked blank Edward Island. It's not blank. Signed blank. And then there's the audio file at the bottom. I won't play all 17 minutes of it, but have a listen. And this isn't even the good part. Okay, let me skip ahead a little. Let me skip ahead a little. Number stations. Imagine being a part of this ARG, knowing that maybe you and just like a handful of other people are listening to this audio, all 17 minutes of it. You're sitting there in the dark at night with this audio playing in your ears, trying to understand what you're listening to. The important bits are coming up in a sec. Come on, where is it? And then at the end it's like goodbye. So what all people took from that: the website contains an audio clip embedded in the page composed of World War II area frequencies, Morse code, magnetophone theme. The Morse code and the audio clip spells out "Don't listen to Alex, tell X-ray it's time to go," then plays in reverse. This message is a response to the voicemail greeting update the same day from Alex telling herself not to go to Edward Island. So if you've played the game, without spoiling too much, it's about like simultaneous timelines, and it has like the main protagonist, she meets herself and she has to tell herself what to do and not to do. So this is kind of a canon way of them delivering a message. So it says, in addition to the audio, the page consists of only an image of a note supposedly written by Alex. Several pieces of the note are censored. When the page element is inspected, the alt text for the image reads, and the web designer inside me wants to show you guys. So let's look at the code. You look right here, alt equals 108, 101, 97, 118, 101, 32, 112, 111, 115, 115, 105, 98, 108, 101. And that translates to ASCII, which is what is used to create any kind of text on a computer. Translates to leave possible. And it says, translation tip for an online converter, be sure to add a 0 before each 2-digit to make it a 3-digit, and that's how you get it through, how to get it, the ASCII to translate correctly. So for a long while, it had been theorized that Bainbridge Island's Fort Ward would be a more than likely location for the object. So we're talking about real-world locations here. Also been theorized that all of the omitted letters from several sessions of code breaking would spell out a hint or a location. On May 7th, of this year, the theories were confirmed as the Twitter account retweeted the solution, Milner is Ward. And we're getting at the end of the wiki for like where people left off. From 8:30 to 8:22 p.m. Pacific Standard, following a tweet reading, "Good work, everyone," the Twitter began giving directions in relation to the retrieval of an object. 8:15 p.m. It's almost time to go. Select a date, gather your party. This is the developers on their Twitter account telling their fans to get in their car and drive somewhere. Like, how would you feel about this? You've invested yourself in this alternate reality game and you're like, oh yeah, it's pretty creepy getting texted by a mysterious source, sitting here listening to creepy audio, interpreting or translating audio from different things and listening to radio. But now they're telling me to get out of my computer and drive somewhere at a certain time to meet someone. So this, and then at 8:20 Pacific Standard, the snowy mountain and the river flowing from the canyon will take you to Thornburg, Vinton, Mitchell. 8:21 p.m. But Fort Ward is only the general area. There is nothing to find yet. 8:22 p.m. The exact location will only be revealed on the date of travel and only to the traveling party. At 8:22 p.m., but there will also be something for everyone who took part, whether you go or not. And then that's where it ends. That, as far as I know, this was all happening around March and April, and it is now August, and I don't know if it's gone anywhere. That's why this makes me really curious where they left off. Oh my god, there's so much stuff. So many tabs. Where's the thing? Oh, I want to watch this so bad. I'm just curious what... Oh my god, I'm so tempted to just play this whole documentary because I haven't even seen this. I didn't know they made this. It was just made a couple days ago. No wonder. The first comment, ass casualties. And the first reply, ass casualties. Oh, I wonder if it actually ended. Everyone's like, oh, I wish I was there. Well done. Oh, it's 20 minutes. Now I got really sidetracked here, but I feel like, you know, my intention was originally to go like, listen to more of these. Listen to people in India talk about deltas and Zulus. Oh, it's really quiet all of a sudden. Listening to Russians talk about secrets. Well, I've already watched an entire playthrough of Oxenfree. The game, it's kind of funny. The ARG has a way darker tone than the actual game does. I don't know. I'll consider it. So this is what a radio station looks like.
في السباق هذا النزاع خطر حمل سيدي ربي وين يسعن الشان خطر الشان كرا وين يكسرسوني مانيس سيدي ربي أثيرفد وين يسعن توتر.
Did I know the creator of the show called Gravity Falls sent his fans on a hunt for a statue of one of the characters using ciphers and building shapes, hidden letters? Really? I will have to take note of that and read about that.
الحبابة وإذا
I'll look into that.
Merci d'avoir attendu, vous êtes à Canton en Chine, on vous écoute.
Ян завоевал золотую медаль на дистанции 200 метров вольным стилем. В финале он показал результат минута 44 секунды и 65 сотых. The Western countries have come to the stage. Вступать на играх 2016. Большинство из них абсолютно чистые от
Because it's like 3 in the morning here in the US, and in Europe, people are just waking up. So most of what we're gonna hear is just all, you know, like India, Asia, China. These are all teletype signals. And that's a microphone in a toilet.
The minority who are unemployed and angry.
Is this the real democracy people want?
Oh my gosh, it's this station.
It's the democracy we have.
Yeah, so far. Okay.
Yeah.
This station is American tries to explain American culture to a really traditional Chinese woman radio.
And it's very possible for Trump to win, I think. I talked to young people, some young people. They are telling me that Hillary actually is doing not very well.
Yes. We should all be on edge.
Okay, what else things can make us on edge?
Well, let's say, for example, you're buying a new house. And I go to you and I say, oh, Man Ling, did you know that your house is haunted? And afterwards, if I keep telling you this, you might start believing it's true. And then you'll be very on edge.
Yeah. I think I'm not going to be on edge.
Why? You don't believe in ghosts?
No. I'm going to say I'm going to give it up. You know, I just quit.
Okay.
Okay, I can look for some new places and for new houses to buy.
Okay.
I don't want this to bother me.
Okay.
But if you tell me I'm on the... I'm there considering buying a house, and if you tell me that the house prices went up last night, by a big margin, for example, maybe 20,000, 30,000, or even 100,000, because in the first years in China, you know, the housing prices are unpredictable sometimes, you know, and then I will be truly on edge. I am a lady. Whenever I buy anything, be it a pair of shoes, or maybe a cup or a pencil, I attach emotions to it. I need to fall into love, fall in love with the thing, so that, you know, I will spend money. So my experience of buying properties like that, if I loved this property, and you told me the prices went up just last night, it will really make me on edge. What am I going to do?
I don't know.
Can you tell?
Freak out. I'll buy a new property, sell it.
Okay, well, that station is actually one of the interesting Chinese stations out there, because it's in English. Have I played Kentucky Route Zero? Like most games, I've watched the crap out of just about every interesting game out there, but I have not played it. I don't even own Kentucky Route Zero, but I really love that game, and I love its aesthetic, and I love just about everything in that game. But yeah, really good game, and I'm eagerly awaiting for the continuation because it ended on a cliffhanger.
Cliff or the bank of the river.
Yeah, and you can fall over.
One little move will get you.
C'était ce week-end 4 soldats ukrainiens tués, 4 autres blessés lors de un affrontement entre les rebelles pro-russes et les forces gouvernementales. L'Ukraine est en proie depuis 2 ans à un conflit qui oppose son armée à des séparatistes pro-russes qui sont, selon Kiev et les Occidentaux, soutenus militairement par la Russie.
Du conflit s'accuse mutuellement de violer cet accord de Minsk et faire l'usage de l'artillerie lourde, ça constate d'être retiré de la ligne de contact en vertu de ce même protocole. La tension a monté surtout après une tentative d'assassinat qui a visé la semaine dernière et doit potentiellement.
Wait, the latest chapter was released last month? What? Thank you for the follow, Damon. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to like watch a total playthrough of that. I did not know they released the next one. Thank you for letting me know. So now we're getting the frequencies that are just so high that there's really not much. Well, so what I feel like doing... Oh yeah, if you ever on your own time want to watch any of the, or listen to any of the stations and stuff that I'm doing here, go to websdr.org, I believe. Let's see. websdr.org. Yeah, and I'm using the University of Twente antenna, which has 200 users on it right now, so it's by far the most popular. So part of what I was going to do I watch Gravity Falls? No, but I've heard good things about it. Because number stations are like their own whole thing. I think what I'll do is save a future stream to devote it more to number stations specifically. Because there's this whole website called Priom. It's a Russian word. It means propagation, I believe. Oh no, reception. This whole website is dedicated to number stations, and it just documents them all, what languages, what possible interpretations of them, and when they broadcast. So what is this? This automatically tunes the radio to when it will appear. So what I think I'll do, so I would like to go to bed soon. Ah, so many tabs. Why can't I hold all these tabs? What am I looking for? Or should I say, who are you running from? Who are you running from? That's a whole other thing. Actually, no, there's not much to it. This is the error message from the Game Boy camera. Like, what the fuck? This is a kid's product. And then when you have an error, it shows this. Who are you running from? Like, what the fuck? That gives me so many spoops. Like, watch.
Okay. Nope. 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 God, fuck this thing. Give me the error. Bullshit. Come on. Nope.
Dude, that was it.
Nope. Nope. There we go.
If your Game Boy did that, I would shit a brick so big, I would not.
Who are you running from? So fucked up. Done.
Oh, good God. Okay, I won't spend time with that because then I won't be able to sleep. Yeah, literally, who thought that was a good idea? What the fuck? I am so curious about this documentary. Done. That was a perfect end to the video. Okay. Yeah, there was the GTA Ghost was in there. So I think I'll use another stream to do number station stuff, because that will go on for a long time. And it's getting late. So what I'll do is pretend to be one of them deaf mutes. No, is just play this documentary and then I'll end the stream, because I'm too... It's what I'm going to do anyway. I'm going to watch this before going to bed and then have nightmares. But, so let me figure out a way to run this full screen. It is apparently a spoilerific documentary, so it will spoil stuff in the game, so you might not want to watch, but this will be the last thing that I do tonight, so you know, you can not think you're gonna miss anything. I'm just gonna watch the video and then sign off. Yeah, I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. I upload all my streams, even though if they're the most random things. Okay, I'll give you guys some lovely background music while I figure this out. Jesus. That is a huge jammer. Here we go. All right, you guys are gonna head out then? All right. Well, thank you all for stopping by. Here's the music we get to rock out to while I figure out how to full screen the YouTube video. Where did it